Nancy Pelosi using a global pandemic and an economic crisis to play politics with Americans' money. And the governor of the hardest hit state in the country picks a fight with the Senate Majority Leader. Let's discuss those stories and more with my next guest, Republican Congressman and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Congressman, thanks for being here. Now, I said in my open that 4.4 million people had to go on unemployment thanks to Nancy Pelosi's delay of 7 days when there was already an agreement on the CARES Act when she was, pitching for Planned Parenthood and the Kennedy Center and the Green New Deal. Was I wrong?
You're not wrong. That was just last week. While small businesses shut down and made the sacrifice to keep America healthy, Nancy Pelosi sacrificed the small businesses. She held it open where there were 700,000 small businesses with applications that couldn't have any money. But the only part that you weren't right, it was more than 4.4 million. Nancy Pelosi owes America an apology. She has held up every single bill when it came to coronavirus that we put forth. The first time she held it up so the DCCC, the Democratic arm, could attack Republicans. The second time she held it up for the entire week to get more funding for the endowment of the arts and the Kennedy Center and try to put the Green New Deal in. Then she came back this time. We asked 2 weeks in advance. We saved 30 million jobs, but 4.4 million last week. That was Nancy Pelosi's unemployment that she added to America.
But Congressman, that is absolutely stunning. It is just stunning to me. But I want to move on because there is so much going on with respect to the money that is now being allocated mostly for Americans who are out of work and small businesses, obviously. Now, Bill Maher, as I said earlier in the show, asked the question that, what do you do? Just keep printing money, printing money? She, of course, says, oh, this is life and death. But we're now at the point where some of the states are saying, look, in order for us to get back on our feet, we need the federal government to make, to give us a clean slate. So if we're indebted because of the Medicare system that we don't monitor, Medicaid we don't monitor properly, I should say, as well as states that have promised pension benefits to government employees, then you're going to have states that are flush paying for states that haven't been able to manage very well, like New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Michigan. And Andrew Cuomo really went after Mitch McConnell.
Yes, what I see is these liberal governors, when they didn't manage their own states, they look at an opportunity here, much like many of the Democrats, that want to grab more money. But if they would look at what we've already passed, we have passed through the House $2.7 trillion. And also added on with what the Fed is doing, that's $7 trillion into the economy. We should allow that to get implemented and working. Now, the liberal Democrats want more, but let's pause for one moment and see what have we done for the states. In the last month, we have provided more than $500 billion to the states. Put that in perspective. We spend roughly $600 billion for the entire year when it comes to Medicare. We still have another $150 billion that was going out to the states by the end of this week. So we increased how much we pay when it comes to Medicaid. We've sent directly money to them. Cities bigger than 500,000 got direct money in, but the governors got all this money. Also, remember what Governor Cuomo got. He got hospitals built from it. He got Navy ships. He's got ventilators. Everything he ever requested. Here's President Trump trying to protect us from this crisis, while you have Nancy Pelosi just trying to politicize it. She was more interested in investigations, impeachment, and ice cream instead of focusing on what we really need to accomplish here.
But the real problem, Congressman, and I only have 30 seconds left, is the fact that, you see Cuomo digging his heels in saying, gee, we've mismanaged this state and we are in the hole. Politicians promising everything but the kitchen sink to get reelected, and the rest of the country should pay for it. And I'm a New Yorker. I don't think that's fair.
That's not fair. The federal government has spent more than $500 billion. We had a responsibility to help the states for those things that affected COVID, and we have. What we really need to do now is find a way that we not only open up these states in a healthy manner, and every state is different, so you follow the directions and you won't open it all at once. But we also need to open the other essential things like Congress. That's why I sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi this week. Instead of finding a way to have proxies where she holds everybody votes in her pocket, let's open up these committees and start working on the things we need to, like the National Defense Authorization, or have appropriations meeting, or we should have oversight looking at the WHO, which I think should be renamed with the director they have now as the Wuhan Health Organization. These are the things we should be investigating to keep America safe.
Well, no question, Congressman McCarthy, at least start with something in Congress. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.